Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Let's Be Real. I am Joe Mambu.
This your boy Big Sharp.
What's going on? What's going on, man? So this is episode 105, and this is called Guarantee Mechanisms. You probably heard the word a little bit pertaining to Pat Mahomes' contract. Mahomie just got paid $502 million. But we're going to break it down a little bit why that contract isn't so great. It is a lot of money, right? And I'm happy for Pat Mahomes, but he definitely could have get a little bit more guaranteed than what is entailed within the contract. We're also going to be talking about Senator Kelly, who's the co-owner of the Atlanta Dreams, and her stance on the Black Lives Matter movement, and how her players have responded to her stance on Black Lives Matter. So we're going to talk. Let's talk about the Pat Mahomes things first, because that right there, man, that was crazy. So Pat Mahomes got paid, right? $502 million to deal the contract over 10 years. So the Chiefs got him for the next 12 years, right? While the contract looks great on the surface, it is heavy incentive based. Regardless, he's still gonna get paid. Sherm, you want to touch on that just a little bit?
That contract is 140 guaranteed. When
Mm-hmm.
it's and when you talk about incentives, the
Mm-hmm.
incentives you're talking about, like it's certain things. Not only with like MVP stuff like that. It goes to like a certain amount of touchdowns he'll throw, amount of yards he'll throw for. If he makes
Mm-hmm.
the Pro Bowl, if he makes the conference championship, Super
Yep.
Bowl, there are a lot of things tied into that. And given his performance, what you've seen in the past 2 years
Mm-hmm.
is like he's gonna make at least half of that $503 million. So to me, like I've been saying all along, to me his contract is really worth 250 million.
Yeah, just about. It's worth half that. The thing about the contract, people don't realize he's never really going to get that 502 mil, right? It is nice. Some of the guarantee mechanisms in this contract for Pat Mahomes is that he has to basically either win an NFL MVP every season or be in the Super Bowl.
But he doesn't now now like I said, he
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily have to win it every season.
Well,
Not
that's what the. I mean, if you read what I wrote, it kind of
but,
does.
but, but I'm getting it from the football side. Like I've heard about these contracts and stuff all through the years.
Hmm.
And what they'll restructure his contract like every 2 years and shift incentives over to shift money and stuff of that nature. So it's not really going to be him. He has to make 12 Super because we all know he ain't going to make 12 Super Bowls straight
Well,
like
he's
that.
not, but it's in the
It,
contract.
it's in the contract, but like I said, it can be shifted. Every that contract that he has right now can be
Yeah.
shifted so many ways, and they'll be far ahead of the curve.
So
As
give me.
long
Yeah, go
Go
ahead. I'm
ahead.
sorry.
They'll be far ahead of the curve for, and I mean, his contract will be guaranteed for 2 years, almost every year for 2 years, due the life of the contract. So
Yeah. So it's like, so this is how it kind of works with some of the guarantee mechanisms, right? And Sherman, to what you were saying is that he basically has to be on the roster the third day of every year to get the incentive for the next to be eligible to get that money, to
that's the
get
roster.
his money. So yeah, to get that money
That's the
the
roster
following.
bonus.
Yeah, the roster bonus. So 2021, he has to be on the roster the third day of the 2021 NFL season to get his guaranteed money on 2020 in 2023, and then 2023, 2025, and et cetera to the life of the contract. The problem with that contract is like, in baseball is more guaranteed money, right?
It's all guaranteed in
It's
baseball.
all guaranteed in baseball, right? The thing with Mahomes' contract is that yes, he has a no trade clause, right, which is great. But the problem is now it's up to the team if they're going to want you or not. So they can cut him at any time, right? So for the foreseeable future, you see Pat Mahomes' contract, and you're like, and you see what he's been able to do. NFL MVP. He comes, misses half the year with an injury, comes back and win the Super Bowl, right?
Right.
Um, the thing is, this contract is to the life of the age where he would be 36, right? He'll be 36 years old by the time this contract is done, which is crazy because he's only 24. But can they be? Could he regress a bit? Right? Could the Chiefs management be like, hey, in 2028, because that's a long way from now. Is he not that guy any longer? You know what I'm saying? In which they could cut him, they would still obviously have to give him certain amount of money, and it would count against the cap, but uh, they don't have to pay Pat Mahomes that whole 502 million dollars. And you know what I was saying before with the whole thing about him winning those MVPs and going to the Super Bowl, that's not happening every year. He would be lucky if he gets to Brady with 6. You know, I know you don't like him as the GOAT, but
He ain't no goddamn goat. The
but
fuck.
but listen, listen, I understand, but Pat Mahomes is a hell of a player, and he's the best player in the NFL right now. Key thing is that could change within 3 to 5 years. So
Let me
yeah, go ahead.
let me tell you something. The reason why this contract was done is because the Chiefs believe in what they have.
No doubt,
When,
but they also covered their ass.
of course, we have to in business like this.
Yeah,
When
they
you make
cover.
a deal like this,
Yeah.
everybody's covered themselves. The Chiefs organization is a smart organization. They
Hmm.
don't go out there just throwing contracts out to anybody unless they're sure. And as long as Andy Reid is there, he will be fine.
Andy
And
Reid is old, man. How long he's going to be there?
and this is why I believe Eric Bieniemy will be the future head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, since they couldn't get him a job anywhere else.
Yeah,
And he basically built the offense for Patrick Mahomes to win the Super Bowl anyway.
yeah,
He's been calling the plays ever since. Andy Reid don't call the plays like that. It's Eric Bieniemy calling the plays.
yeah,
So if Andy says, "Hey, I'm done in the next 3 years,"
yeah,
fine. He can say, "Hey, I coached one of the better quarterbacks of my lifetime,"
yeah,
and he hands the reins over to Eric Bieniemy. And
yeah,
Eric Bieniemy takes over, and they continue to push on. The reason why that contract was made because now they can set themselves up to get pieces that they need to help Mahomes get better. And the crazy thing about all this is Patrick Mahomes is only 24, 25 years old.
yeah.
That's the crazy part about it. And he said himself, he said it on the shop. I will watch a little segment on the shop. He says
Yeah.
he doesn't know what he's doing yet.
So he's kind of instinctively
He's instinctively
playing
doing this
football.
shit.
Yeah.
Do you realize
Which is
if he
absurd. Which is
it's
absurd because
it's
he's an MVP and he's a Super Bowl MVP
if he
at the age of 24.
if he and I believe he's gonna be in that top 5 MVP race every year at
Oh
least.
yeah, I think so.
At least.
I think
It,
so.
if he stays in that range,
Hmm.
that contract will be at least $250, $300 million, and everything is done through the draft now.
Yeah.
You have the way you're winning, you win games and you win champions is building through the draft. His
Yeah. Free
contract,
agency isn't as sexy as it once was in the
right,
NFL. Yeah.
right.
I get that.
If you get a prize possession in in free agency, hey, that's great. It's gonna help you take your team to the next level. But the
Yeah.
NFL draft is where everything is built at. From your first round to the seventh, your first round picks are the picks like, yo, we got a Hall of Fame player here. We're gonna go with him.
Yeah.
Picks like 3 through 6, you don't know, but you're hoping you get a diamond out the rough. Antonio
Yeah.
Brown was like that.
Hmm.
Russell Wilson's like that.
Yep.
But Patrick was a first round pick, and
Number 10, right?
right, and
Yeah.
and the Bears could have had this guy.
Yeah.
But they picked Mitchell Trubisky. I don't know why John Fox drafted Mitchell Trubisky. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But
I don't get that either.
I don't get that either. But and he had a chance to get Deshaun Watson too. I don't
Yeah.
know why you didn't draft him. But it's whatever. He's sitting home making TV money now. I'm very sure he's doing great. But the Mahomes contract is basically to help them build for the next 12 years.
Which,
As long as
yeah, which makes sense. And then you also have to take into account that they're having a new CBA, right?
Mhm.
So that is projected to go up 6 million per year, the cap, which
if
is
they play football, they have to. It's
yeah,
kind of why they have to, like they're trying to get the stuff played this year, so the
yeah,
cap can go up and it doesn't flatten out. Because if it flattens out, now the contract looks kind of baddish
yeah,
in the first 2 years.
No, so I mean, it's listen right now. The next, so this is a contract, right? At least the caps hit for Mahomes. It's 5.3 mil, and then 2021 is 24 mil, and then 2022 is 31 mil. So after that, it just goes astronomical to like 42, and then in 2027, there's a huge cap hit of almost $60 million for Pat Mahomes. This
Now,
is
like,
yeah, go ahead.
no, it's ridiculous.
It's
Yes,
ridiculous.
but like I said, this is where the GMs and the owners will start to shift and allocate the money to make it all correct. This
Yeah.
contract is not where like it's going to be backbreaking unless Andy Reid wants to go for it on 4th and 1 again and almost kills his
Um,
chances of winning the championship
yes,
again.
sir. Yes, sir. You're right
I
about that.
mean, I listen. My heart was in my throat when I said, like, yo, why is this guy going for it on 4th and 1? You
Yeah.
got running back, but then again, the running backs weren't that good either at that time. They came along at the end, but at that time in Denver, they weren't that good. He was working with a very iffy offensive line.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. He said, hey, let's go for 4th and 1, but he was already injured. You
Yeah.
don't do that, and Andy know that.
Yeah.
Andy know that.
Yeah.
But hey, he got through. He was a young man. He got healthy
Yep.
and led his team to the Super Bowl with three comebacks. I've never seen that before. And
Yeah.
me watching football, the history of me watching football, I have never seen that.
Yeah.
And to watch him do it, and we watched the Super Bowl together, and watch him do it like this. It was
Yeah.
like this, and like it was like Golden. It was like the
Yo.
Golden State offense just run them up in the league. Oh, shut up, please. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Oh, Golden
Goddamn,
State.
goddamn
We,
hater.
we haven't talked about them in a long time.
Because they were injured and because of this goddamn thing going on right now.
You're right. You're right. Listen, there's more important stuff than sports going on right now. So I just want to give you a little bit about the guarantee mechanisms, right, with Pat Mahomes, right? So
Mm-hmm.
basically, for 2023, the first 3 years, he's going to get his money, right? Uh,
Now,
yeah, go
not to
ahead.
cut
Go
you
ahead.
off, that 5.3 million, it's still part of his rookie deal.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah. So he still had what 2 years left. So he still had
Right.
2 years, yes, left, and they signed him a 10 year
To a 10-year
extension.
deal.
Yeah, so it's 12 year, 502 mil in total. If he hits all the cylinders on the 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 guarantee money would be 502 mil. So he will receive his roster. So he's basically covered through the contract. Pat Mahomes is set to make about a little bit over 204 mil, right? So it says Mahomes' contract features a 141 million dollar in guaranteed money over the 12 years, and he was only guaranteed 63 million at signing. So over that would be a little bit over 200 mil. But yo, this contract is crazy. The only thing I would have fought for if I was Mahomes, right? And he's 24. I mean, obviously he has an agent who does the work for him, but I would have fought for a little bit guaranteed money. But you're talking about 204 mil guarantee
But that's
if he does the bare minimum, and Pat Mahomes is not going to give you the bare minimum. You've been able to see what he's been able to do for the past 2 seasons, right?
mm-hmm.
Um, Listen, Mahomes is going to be well compensated. Uh,
and he
yeah,
don't even need to do all that.
yeah, he doesn't.
He
He doesn't. He doesn't. And you're right
he,
about that.
basically he don't even have to touch that money. He's on the Shaq level now, where he don't even have to touch that money.
Yeah.
All his money is gonna come from endorsements. You already seen it with Heinz Ketchup because he said he loves Heinz Ketchup. He's doing a whole
I
bunch
do
of
like
other
Heinz ketchup
endorsements.
too.
Exactly. And it ain't like Sweet Baby Ray's though, but Heinz Ketchup's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah,
But he won't touch none of that money. That's why people keep saying this is generational money he's getting.
yeah.
That's
Listen,
why.
listen. It's half a bill. Come on now.
I've never heard that's fucking
Come
ridiculous,
on,
bro.
it's ridiculous, man. So
That's,
with Pat Mahomes making that money, obviously you got who's the next guy lined up to
oh
to
my
get this money.
fucking god. Are you
Listen, listen. It's a thing, man. You got to think about it now, right? Because now he resetted the quarterback market, right?
but I know where you're going with this, but I'll let you set it up. Go ahead.
All right, man. So Pat Mahomes making that crazy money. Who's the quarterback next in line to get close to? Because listen, I don't know if anybody's going to make more money in as close to Pat Mahomes, more money than Pat Mahomes is going to make. But there's some pretty good quarterbacks that you have to kind of account for, right? So I'm gonna give you a list, and you tell me who's going to get who's most likely to get that, right?
Go ahead.
We got another young signal caller, and for the Houston Texans and Watson. We know the Dak Prescott
He well.
situation, but right now his current salary is 31 million because they got him on a franchise tag, right?
Mhm.
And then you come around, you have Jameis Winston, who's not on that level,
Get the fuck out of here!
right? No,
Don't
I'm
even
not.
mention his name.
Listen.
I don't want to hear about 30 for 30. Get the hell out of here. Scratch that.
Right, for the real for 30 for 30. And then you got the guy who's the guy who's younger than Lamar Jackson and than Pat Mahomes and Lamar Jackson in Baltimore, who's just the MVP this season. Who
I'm gonna
base salary is 1.3 million this year, just to let you know.
I'm gonna tell you how that's gonna do. Deshaun Watson's gonna get maybe 39, 40 million.
Okay.
Dak, he's gonna shoot himself in the foot because he should have took the deal they had for him last year. He'd have been good. He'd have been on the level.
Yeah.
But I think he might fall. I think he might fall off, and he might be a free agent. I mean, somebody's gonna pay him, but
Yeah, somebody.
he ain't gonna get no 45 million or even 40 million.
So you don't see him being a cowboy for his entire
I
career.
I don't think so.
Okay.
They lost that. Now for Lamar, if Lamar could win a Super Bowl now,
Mm-hmm.
he'd be on the level,
Yeah.
and he would do it in completely different type of way. But
Yeah.
he'd be on the level. He could probably command 40, 41 million probably.
You're talking about per year.
Right.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I would go with Lamar. Lamar's the most likely, and then Deshaun, and then after that, it's whoever.
Dak is right now Kirk Cousins.
I agree. I would agree with that. Kirk got paid, but Kirk ain't deserved to get paid.
Well, the numbers wise, yeah, but I
Yeah,
got it.
yeah. So the next topic we're talking about is the Atlanta Dream has a big issue. They have a co-owner who, man, listen, don't want to put her money where her mouth is, basically, right? So, if you don't know, Senator Kelly, she's a Republican in Georgia. She's co-owner of the Atlanta Dream. Basically, she said some stuff about the Black Lives Movement. Basically, she wasn't for the movement, right? She talked about the movement incites defunding the police, which I think should definitely happen because those motherfuckers have way too big of a budget, and defunding the military, right? And it also incites riots and racism. Those were her words, right? The Atlanta Dream players responded with just a letter that they all signed, right? So it's Black Lives Matter. I'll read it to you. So
Hmm.
we are the women of the Atlanta Dream. We are women who support a movement. We are strong and we are fearless. We offer a voice to the voiceless. Our team is unified in the movement for Black lives. It is not extreme to demand change after centuries of inequality. This is not a political statement. This is a statement of humanity. Uh, Senator Kelly did talk about b- black people being killed is a bad thing, but I think we're in a time where you have to kind of talk, like saying that black people dying is a problem. You have to do a lot more than that nowadays, right? You could agree to that, right,
Of
Sharon?
course, of course.
Um, she also had this thing where politicizing sports was like she's against it, right? She wants sports to just be an escapism, which I understand sports is an escapism, right? But this is the thing. It's like when you have a platform like these players do of the Atlanta Dream, you have to let it be known where you stand, right? Like where you stand. It's you can't be a doctor. We don't tell doctors, hey, just be a doctor and don't have an opinion on anything else. While that is their profession, necessarily they have opinions, right? There's the other things they talk about, whether you're in a bar, whether you're in a barbershop, we all have opinions, right?
Hmm.
Uh, the WNBA, like the NBA, is 80% black, right? she's a co-owner of this team, in which she is now saying that don't talk about sports, right? And we talked about this maybe like a month ago, right, with Lauren Ingram, right, who told
Mm-hmm.
LeBron and KD just shut up and dribble.
Dribble.
Uh, but then turns around and states that Drew Brees should be able to state his opinion because he's a person, right? I think the problem with conservatives or Republicans is that they just want this status quo, right? Some may sympathize. Of course, taking a life is horrible, but hey, man, don't talk about it if it's going to change the status quo. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's a lot of the problem that these people have. These owners, or now you call governors, right? They want the status quo, and the players of the Atlanta Dream wasn't having it.
Now, I've heard since then that they have removed her from
Yeah,
all
November.
their.
Yeah, November 2019, she was removed from all day to day activities.
Now, I look at this as like the Donald Sterno thing. Like, like I think she got so tired of things. She's like, oh, let me just. I'm being facetious, of course. Like, let me
Yeah,
just say something so I can get the hell out of here, so I don't have to talk about this no more. So she goes up and ends up saying this type of thing.
yeah,
You know, it's like, why even come say? Your play. Most of the players on your team are black.
yeah.
You know this.
Hey. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Big Sean.
What the hell?
Go ahead, Big Sean.
Oh, all right. Like, your players are black. Why would you even have the gall to go out there and say things of this nature for?
Yeah. Sharm,
No,
just
no.
continue for a bit.
Oh my God, here we go with the bullshit now. Go
All right,
ahead,
go ahead,
man.
go ahead, go ahead.
You see, people, this that bullshit. But on a serious note, um, what was said should not have been said anyway. That's why I said. That's why I call it the Donald Sterling type of deal. Like, it's almost like she want to get out of jail free card or something. Like, oh, I don't want to even talk about this no more, and just leave it all alone. Like, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. No, you won't be fine. There's so much stuff going on in the world right now that we need all the support that black people can get. We need all the support that black people can get at this point. And you're not. You're not adding to the solution of how we could get to that point. You're just not.
Yeah.
And we need all the support we can get. People are
Yeah.
dying on the streets for this.
Yeah. You know, and I agree, man. It's just sad. I mean, my thing, right, is that she's a co-owner, and the other co-owner, her name is Mary Brock. Uh, she's the other owner of the team.
She's a
How does she?
co-owner.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're both owners, but what I'm saying is, how does she feel? Right. I would like a statement from her
You ain't
because
gonna get it.
you kind of got to remove Senator Kelly, right? Because it's like,
No, she was removed already.
no, I'm
She's not.
saying, but like she's talking about, she's not giving up her ownership of the team. She's not selling that. That's the
Mm.
thing. Yeah, she's been removed from day to day activities, but she's still getting checks.
But that's between now the board of governors of the WNBA to
Yeah, and the
decide that.
commissioner. Yeah,
Right, and that's the whole Donald Sterling thing I was talking about.
yeah,
Are they gonna go to those lengths to do that?
yeah,
Is it egregious enough to be like, okay, you said this is so egregious that we're gonna take the team. We can't have you here
yeah,
because the WNBA can boycott too if they want to because
yeah. They can.
that's what they did that with the Clippers.
Yeah,
And they did one day of that, and then after that, Donald Sterling was gone. And then like a month, like a few weeks to a month, he was done.
yeah.
If they made him sell the team, he was done.
Listen,
So
I think she needs to sell the team. There's no point. Your players are never going to be able to look at you, right? So there's some things that she wrote to the WNBA president, Kathy Engelbert, right?
mhm.
She says BLM was totally misaligned with the values and goals of the WNBA and the Atlanta Dream, where we support tolerance and inclusion. Instead of having WNBA players wear warm-up shirts emblazoned with Black Lives Matter and courts painted with the same message, the senator urged the WNBA to put American flags on jersey as a signifying unification
Mhm.
of the American people. the The problem is that it goes to the thing where she's like, yo, she doesn't. Sports should be an escapism, right? But her alternative to putting Black Lives Matter on the court or having shirts that say Black Lives Matter is just putting an American flag on the jerseys, right?
Now, Adrian McCautry had the original idea
Yeah,
of putting all the equality and all that stuff on the back of jerseys.
yeah,
She originally had that idea, and I would like to get that out there to let people know that the NBA didn't come up. That was Adrian McCautry's idea
okay,
initially, and I want her to get recognized for that.
yeah, yeah.
Are you
Listen,
having an entanglement over there?
what? No, I'm not. I'm not having no entanglement over here. I don't know
The
what you're talking about.
fuck?
But
Okay,
this is why I
just
will
making
say
sure.
stupid. This is why I will say is that it's sad, and you have people in position of power who thinks just like Senator Kelly. Uh, I love the Black Lives Movement, what it stands for. And like I said, saying that black people dying is wrong is not enough. You gotta do more. You gotta be a white ally. And the thing is, it's other people are never gonna look at it until you affect the bottom line. All right. So it's either violence or affecting their money, right? And I'm not saying violence because I'm not for that, but listen, get her out of here. So next time when somebody asks her a question about that, she don't open her mouth to say something so stupid.
Well, listen, when stuff like that happens, they usually are gone. Donald Sterling hasn't been seen since that point.
Yeah.
He has not been seen since that point. And now she says she's a
Right?
senator.
Where is he?
Who cares?
Yeah, you right.
Who cares?
Yeah.
He's been racist that whole goddamn time. I don't give a fuck where he is right now.
Yeah.
He probably cussing black people out right now, for all we know.
No, I don't think he's doing that anymore.
You don't have you heard the tapes?
He's probably doing that behind closed doors, but he dared not to do that in public.
Yeah,
And that's the thing we need to do. We need to just silence those motherfuckers, right? We need to. Like, if you're not really down for us, listen, just stay somewhere and be quiet, man. Like, we don't want to hear your opinion. You know what I mean? We don't, because it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous, and it's tiring, and it's sickening. And I'm glad that the WNBA players, they had this stance, and I hope that other teams support what the Atlanta Dream is about, right? Not what Senator Kelly claims the Atlanta Dream was about, which is about unifying, right? Because that's the thing. If you're going to unify all people in America, guess what? Black people is a part of that,
of
a
course,
big part of that.
of
And I
course.
don't think that's what people understand. They yell and scream from their castles and about, this issue of b- black people wanting y'all to take ownership for the shit y'all did. You know what I mean? And it's like she's in her castle, like, listen, I hear you, but I'm making too much money right now, and
It's
I'd
like
rather see an American flag on the jersey instead of a
it's
Black
like
Lives
her.
Matter mural.
It's like her saying, "Shoo shoo, go away." Did you?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
That's what it's shoo shoo.
yeah, yeah, most definitely, man. And like I said, I want to continue this story in a later episode because I think this is something definitely we need to touch on. The women over there in the WNBA is they're in the bubble too. Over there in Orlando,
Right.
getting ready for the season. So I will be watching more WNBA this season.
I want to see Simone Ionescu. I want to see what she can do on the big stage now, in the big league now
Yeah.
for the
So
New York Liberty. Hopefully, the Liberty can get something out of it and not squander like they squandered Patrick Ewing's career.
yeah, yeah. I'm excited. So I'm waiting to see what's next. And like I said, we will touch this on our other episodes. But I mean, Sharon, what's your final thoughts on it before we close it up?
I mean, my thoughts are just like that. Like, we just need equality, man. I want peace for everybody.
Yeah.
You understand? If people know me, they know me. I'm for peace.
Can
I
we
want
get
everybody.
yeah?
Go ahead.
Can we focus on the black people first before we get
Oh,
equality? Yeah.
that's what. Listen, that's what I mean. I want
Yeah.
everybody, black people, of course,
Yeah.
but everybody just to come together.
Don't Terry
I,
Crews me, man.
and
No,
hey, take it easy over there, my man.
I'm joking. I'm
Take
joking,
it easy,
man.
my man. But
I'm
I
joking.
just want equality for all, man. I want
Yeah.
all of us just to come together and be one people.
Yeah.
Black people, white people, all to come together and enjoy. I know it's a struggle right now. It's the temperature is rising on this thing. Like it's boiling. Like it's almost at the zenith boiling point right now.
Yeah.
But I just hope that we can just get it put together in time and like we can see the future.
Yeah.
That's all I want. I'm
Yeah.
a simple dude person. I just want to see the future. If we're gonna go through some hardships doing it, I understand, but I see a future there.
All right, man. Well, on that note, a good note by Big Sherm.
Thank you.
I want to thank you guys for tuning into another episode of Let's Be Real.
Hold
Uh,
on. Shout out to Hey, listen, don't dip your head at me, man. Come on.
man, come on.
Shout out.
You heard producer man.
I'm trying here. I'm trying to get this all in. My predictions came out again last night. Check
Mhm.
out the blog. I
Yep.
got Kamor Usman. I got Peter Yan. They robbed my man Max Holloway, but that's fine.
All right. You done?
Go ahead.
All right. So I want to thank you guys for tuning into another episode of Let's Be Real.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you have
Go ahead.
if you have any questions and comments or even topics that you want us to discuss, make sure to hit us up at lbrstalk@gmail.com. Hit our YouTube as well. Let's Be Real Sportscast.
Subscribe. I'm begging like Keith Swift. Subscribe,
Word,
please.
subscribe. Make sure you do that. And
Spotify as well.
yeah, and also on Twitter as well. And that's another episode in the bag. I hope you guys enjoy your Sunday, and peace.
Be safe.